Hey everyone, welcome to my channel and my name is Gurjot. I hope you are doing well. So in my last video, I shared with you about certificate of qualification and a detailed step-by-step process to apply for it. In today's video, we are going to continue that topic. We are going to talk about two important things. First is your credential assessment and second is some important documents that you need for your certificate of qualification. So without any further delay, let's dive into the video. Let's get started. Firstly, if you have done your Bachelor's of Education program from outside Canada, you need to get your credential assessment done. Now, this credential assessment is done through Pathway to Teach Canada, which is PTTC. Pathway to Teach Canada is pretty new. It was established in November 2024. Before that, getting your assessment done was a pretty long and tedious process. But now that we have Pathway to Teach Canada, it has become comparatively easier. Now, what is Pathway to Teach Canada? It is a new initiative that provides a single point entry for internationally educated teachers to get their credentials and language competencies assessed. It works in collaboration with WES to provide a tailored credential assessment. Very, very important that if you have already done your WES, whether it was a general assessment or an academic assessment, which is a course-to-course assessment, in any of these cases, do not send a direct WES report to Pathway to Teach Canada. Since I already told you, Pathway to Teach Canada has collaborated with WES, so WES will create a tailored credential assessment specifically for Pathway to Teach Canada. This tailored credential assessment report will focus on your teacher education program and your practicum hours. So do not send a direct report from WES to Pathway to Teach Canada as they are not going to accept it. Now, without any further delay, let's move on to my screen. So once you are done submitting your application, the first thing is that you will receive an email. This email might take 3 to 4 days. It confirms that your application has been received and there is an updated list of documents that you need to submit. So we are going to log into our account to see what documents we have to submit. So we are going on your application and already we have submitted our application. So we are going to click on check application status. Over here, you can see what date applications they are processing right now by mail, by email, by upload. This date keeps on updating as they are processing more and more files. So we are going to scroll down to see what documents we have to submit. So click on this blue link, application in process. We are going to click on that. Again, we have to scroll down and there is this list of documents. You can even check your submitted application here and make sure to cross check the reference number as well. Now we are going to scroll down to see what documents we have to submit. So the first document is high school diploma. So you have to submit class 12th mark sheet and passing certificate, which you have to upload by yourself. Second document is your Pathways to Teach Canada report, which we are going to talk about in detail. Third is your legal name identification. So one is primary, one is secondary. You have to submit 2 identification documents. You can submit it by yourself. You have to generate a PDF for that and then you are going to upload it. Moving on to the next document, I have a document requirement for the name change since my last name was changed after my marriage. So if it's the same case for you, you need to provide a name change document. It could be your previous passport, it could be your birth certificate. There is a list of documents where various options are shared, which documents you can provide as a proof, whether it's your primary or secondary identification or whether it's your name change. You will see the document status as outstanding here since we haven't submitted the documents yet, and once we have submitted the documents, once they have received and accepted it, the status will change to received. If there is any issue, if any picture is not clear, they might ask you again and they will even give you the reason that why they haven't accepted your document. Like in my case, the name change document wasn't clear enough, so they asked me for another document, and once that was received, the status changed to received. Last and another important document is your consent for criminal record check. So you are going to fill up a form, you are going to print it and sign it by your hand. It's not a digital signature. You have to sign it by yourself and upload it, and you are basically giving them a consent to start your criminal record check. You have to be very careful while uploading your documents. Make sure to name them properly. Go through this page thoroughly. Read all the instructions. When naming your documents, make sure you include your reference number, your name, and the document you are submitting. For example, if we are submitting high school diploma, you are going to use your reference number L1234, your name ABC, and then high school diploma. That's how you are going to name your document. Also, if a document has more than 2 pages, for example, for your high school diploma, if you want to include your mark sheet and your passing certificate, make sure to make one document for that. You have to include both these pages in one document, one PDF. Another example, if you are including your birth certificate, then make sure you are having your original birth certificate and the translated version. If your birth certificate is not in English, include the translated version as well. And this all has to be in one PDF because you are only going to get one slot for each document. Now coming back to criminal record check, click on consent to a CRC on the left side. Once you click that, you will be able to see all the steps that are needed. In step 1, your information is given. Make sure to cross check everything is correct. In step 2, we are going to update our contact information. So you need to enter your email address, your mailing address, and even your contact phone number. Once you have done that, moving on to step 3, where you need to provide information required by CRRP. This majorly includes name changes. So if you had any other first name, any other last name, whether it was for your marriage purpose or any other purpose, you need to update it. You also need to enter your driving license number if you have one and your birthplace. Next is your step 4, where you are going to authorize them. You are going to give your consent to conduct an automatic criminal record check. In step 4 and step 5, you need to tick the check boxes, and that's all you need to do. Once you are done with this, you need to save your information and create your criminal record check. So click on that blue tab, create your CRC consent form. Once you have created that, you need to print it and sign it by your hand. Now I'm going to take you back to the list of documents to show you where you have to upload this consent to criminal record check form. So over here you can see form number 28A. It is a signed criminal record check consent form. So once you upload your form under this tab, even the tab that is below CRRA 28, even that is updated automatically. It shows you received because both of these forms are connected to each other. Moving on to the most important document, which is your credential assessment document, which is done by Pathway to Teach Canada. So here I am on Pathway to Teach Canada website. You can scroll around, you can see what's happening, how it is involved. It has explained everything in detail, how it is involved with WES, and in deep the certification process is also mentioned. That step 1 is your assessment and how you can apply for it. So a lot more information is given on that, but the best feature is that you can even determine your pathway by entering a few questions. So here we are first going to determine what our pathway is, what kind of assessment we need. So let's get started. Now, before we get into determining our pathway, we have some really good information here, which shows us how Pathway to Teach Canada and WES are going to work in collaboration. So basically, WES is going to collect our proof of education, statement of professional standing, any additional degrees that we have, any professional information such as certifications or authorization, and even the verification of our practicum. And then it's going to create a credential assessment report, which is specifically for Pathway to Teach Canada. So that sounds really interesting. And now let's check out what kind of assessment we are eligible for. And for that, we are going to enter some simple and easy questions about our education, about our teacher education program. So here we are going to click on Determine My Pathway. Now click on Start My Pathway and it will direct you towards the questionnaire. So the first question is, have you completed a teacher education program abroad, not in Canada? Since my teacher education program was in India, so it was abroad. So I'm going to click yes. Next question is, have you previously applied for certification in a province or territory either directly or via Pathways to Teach Canada as an elementary or secondary school? Since I haven't, I will click no. Are you applying to Pathways to teach a vocational, technological, trade discipline such as construction, automotive? My answer is no. Which regulatory body are you applying for license in? I'm going to select British Columbia. Next is, did you complete a teacher education program entirely in French or English? Mine was in English, so I'm going to click yes. So it shows me that I am eligible to start my process and I only need to do credential assessment. I don't need to do language assessment. So for that, for credential assessment, I'm going to create an account on my Pathways to Teach Canada website. So here you're going to enter your name, date of birth, country of residence, your province, and even the time zone. Once you are done entering this information, your account will be created and we are going to log into Pathway to Teach Canada account. Once you log into the website, this is how the interface is going to look. Click on assessments. So over here, you will be able to see two types of assessment. One is for language and other one is your credential assessment. Since I don't need language assessment, I'm only going to go for credential assessment. Credential assessment fees is $450 while language competency is for $400. If you need both the assessments, you need to pay for both of them. Since I only need credential assessment, it's only going to cost me $450 plus taxes. So over here we can see it's clearly mentioned that you do not go to WES directly. The regular WES course by course evaluation will not be accepted. So make sure you do your assessment through this website and not by directly going to the WES website. So we are going to request for a report. So we are going to click on request. Once you click on request, over here you can select the option what kind of assessment you want. So I'm going to click credential assessment and then I'm going to pay for it. So as you can see, it's showing me $450 and plus it's going to charge me some taxes and the total cost will come to 472.50 CADs. Once the payment is done, you will be able to see your submitted request under credential assessment. Over there, you have a tab of accessing WES. So we are going to click on access WES. So this Pathway to Teach Canada website is going to guide us, it's going to take us on the WES website. Once again, I'm reminding you, do not send direct WES report. Do your WES assessment only through Pathway to Teach Canada. Once you are on the WES website, you need to start an application and fill in all the information about applicant and very important credential and professional information. Make sure all the information and the spellings are correct. Review your information and then upload the documents. Once you submit this application, it will look like this. The interface is going to look like this. Application reference number will be generated. That's how it's going to look. It will show you the status of your documents. Since I haven't uploaded my documents yet, it's showing me that we are waiting for your documents. Now you can click on required documents and see what documents are needed on your side. For me, academic record requirement, it's showing me the requirement, but it already has my bachelor's of engineering, bachelor's of education documents. Since I already have my WES report done, what I need to submit for Pathways to Teach Canada requirement is my proof of identity, so my identification document, proof of professional standing and proof of teaching practicum. These two documents will be submitted from the college or the university. College or university have to directly send these documents to WES. Only the identification document is to be uploaded by me myself. Otherwise, there is a fixed form which the college needs to fill in. You are going to fill in part 1 and part 2 and the remaining part will be filled in by your college or university to show the professional standing of your teaching license. Since we don't have the license thing in India, they still have to mention that your teaching, your license has not been revoked and it is still active in status. So that's how the college is going to share your professional standing information. They also need to share your teaching practicum. So they are going to mention what you taught, how many hours, how many days, what was your teaching practicum all about. So even in this, you are going to fill in part 1 and part 2 and the remaining has to be filled in by the college, and the college is going to send these documents directly to WES. They can either send it through email or they can even send it by mail. And once all the documents are done and no further documents are requested, everything is done. Congratulations, you will be awarded with a certificate of qualification. As you can see, this is a conditional license. You might end up having a conditional license in two cases. First is if your Bachelor's of Education program did not have enough practicum hours, and second is if your Bachelor's of Education program did not cover BC core areas such as indigenous education, special education, you might end up having a conditional license. Now, having a conditional license does not stop you from teaching. You can still teach as a conditional license holder. But when you are provided with a conditional license, you are also given a list of courses which you need to pursue in order to have a full license. You have 60 months, which is 5 years, to complete these courses. Once you are done with these courses, you get a full license. I hope you found this video useful. If this video was helpful for you even a tiny bit, do like, share and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon in my next video. Till then, bye.